What's going on, y'all? It is your man Tole. It is another day's journey, and I am super duper glad about it. Want to welcome all of you to Shop Talk, everyone's favorite show, right here on everyone's favorite network. You know what it is. Listen, let's get ready to make some things happen. We have an incredible show lined up for you. Now, before we do anything, you know what you got to do. You got to get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo, Threads, whatever it is that you use today. Do me a favor, get on the phone, call, and tell your mama them, Ray Ray, Shay Shay, Day Day, Delicious Nim, Nut Nut Nim, Pojo Nim. Let them all know that we are live right here and we are making things happen on the Shop Talk family of networks. First of all, I want to welcome everyone who is hanging out with us, those of you who might be viewing us live on Facebook or YouTube. We want to say welcome. We are glad to have you hanging out with us. And those of you hanging out, if you've never tuned into Shop Talk, now we do have some new radio partners. We have now become what we call syndicated, where we are not just on our main station any longer, but we're now syndicated on other radio stations around the country. And we want to first of all welcome our radio partners and be able to welcome them, their listeners, to the Shop Talk family and the Shop Talk network and what we do. Listen, if you haven't done so as of yet, if you have not done so as of yet, make sure that you follow us on social media at FDR Shop Talk. FDR Shop Talk. That is on Facebook, Twitter/X, if you use it, as well as on Instagram. Everything is FDR Shop Talk. We would love to have you hang out with us and be able to take this journey with us as we move forward through this year, the next year, this season, the next season, and whatever else the Lord would have for us in these next few days. Anyway, listen, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, you don't know what you're tuned into. What is this whole Shop Talk thing I'm listening to? I am glad you asked. You can depend on me to tell you. Shop Talk is that, that good beauty shop. You know how it is, that barber shop, that that nail shop, that donut shop talk. You know how it is, that conversation that only stays within that particular area. That's what we do right here with the Shop Talk family, and we keep it live, we keep it happening. We talk about current events, we talk about what's hot and happening in the news. Of course, as you heard as we opened the show, we always have great music. Before I bring up any co-hosts, let me give out some quick early morning shout outs. Shout out to my homie Diamond Fee. Diamond Fee is in the building. What is going on? And we also have a doctor in the building. Dr. Maggie Winter is in the building as well. Glad to have you hanging out with us. We have Cambria Mayfield also in the virtual building as well. Listen, glad to have all of y'all hanging out with us. And again, if you did not know, my name is Emetrius Tole. I am your host. And of course, you can follow me everywhere at DTolefree, at DTOLEFREE. All right, y'all, let's now get ready to bring up our first co-host. For those of you who are familiar with us on our home network, she needs no introduction. But for those of you who may be listening to us on one of our partner networks, let me give you a formal introduction of my homie, who is from Hercules of California. I am from Oakland, California. Yay! Thought I'd just throw that in there for free. Anyway, we do have our first co-host, who's an incredible singer, songwriter, well-traveled musician. She does it all. Many of you may recognize her voice, or when you start seeing photos of her, you'll recognize her from being a contestant as well as a high finalist, I believe, number 5, number 4, Sunday Best Season 10. She's my homie. She's been with me from day one with Shop Talk, and I want to bring her up with us. And that is my homie, Ashling Tara Cole. Ashling, girl, what is going on?
What's going on, good people? It's good to be here. I was not on last week. If you watched the show, I appreciate all your prayers and your support as I was with my family, as we are grieving yet another death. My goodness, yet another passing. It has been 12 people I have counted this year that are in either my immediate family or my close family. You know who those people are, your close family, like your cousin's wife or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's been a lot of people. So but we're yet holding on, and we know that if we know whose you are, then we know where you are. Amen. So grieve if you must, cry if you must, but know that God has a plan, and it's always bigger than our plan. Always. He said, for I know the plans that I have for you. So weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. And so this morning on Shop Talk, we hope to just bring you a little bit of joy in your day so you can start your day right.
Absolutely. I love it. And yeah, certainly praying for you. And thank you to everyone who was praying for me too. I just got back
I
from,
heard my condolences. I heard about your
thank you.
cousin. My
Yeah,
condolences,
I appreciate it.
Pastor.
The funny thing about it, well, it's not funny, but the interesting thing, I flew into Shreveport last Friday morning, drove from Shreveport to a small city called Spring Hill, Louisiana, which is where a lot of my family is from. We're right on the right on the state line between Louisiana and Arkansas. So some of my family stay on the Louisiana side. Quite a few of my cousins are on the Arkansas side. Anyway, went down there, had a great time celebrating the life of my cousin, Pastor Kevin Washington, and I was tapped to do the eulogy for this particular funeral.
Yeah,
And then
come
the
on,
bishop of that
Pastor.
area, yeah, they
Come on,
tapped me on my
Pastor.
shoulder. Come on, son. And then the bishop, that's their AME. Obviously, I'm Church of God in Christ, but the bishop of that region, he got my phone number, and he's like, "Son, I'm going to call you." I'm like, "I'm hoping you're not trying to call me to move down here to pastor this church, because, bro, I'm from California, man. I can't do
I mean, but
Louisiana."
when the call comes from the Lord, oh yeah.
I'm gonna be like, "Lord, you sure?" I'm not sure. Anyway,
I
listen,
mean,
I did have a great
woo.
time. Did make it back. I was at church on Sunday morning. Had a great time, and we'll talk about more things that are going to be happening this week in the Bay Area at my church. But before we go any further, let's get ready to bring up my next co-host. Out also in Hercules, California. My guy always makes me laugh. Always has something funny to say. And you all know, or if you did not know, Ashling always calls him her bestie. It's my guy. He's in the building, and he's looking fly and ready to go. Let's bring him up without further ado. Ja'Cory Prothro. Ja'Cory, man, what is going on?
What's up?
Hey,
You know
sunglasses.
what? You know what? Sunday, I had to. That death angel is all around. Can I say that? We really got to pray because we're losing musicians, artists, first ladies, mothers. We got to pray and love on each other because it's getting rough out here in these Christian streets. But I'm here. I'm here.
I hear you, man. I'm glad to see you. Glad to have you in the virtual building. I didn't know we was doing shades, man. I could have. I know I had some around there somewhere. I'll see
Well,
if
I
I
need
can
a
find some.
haircut, so I figured I'd try to accessorize a little bit.
I'm not mad at you. I am not mad. I tell you what, let's keep this energy going. We do have another guest co-host that's actually on location, not in her normal habitat, but she is on location. Actually about to hop on a plane in a few moments, but she did want to hop on with us today. I think she's in St. Louis right now on her way back to North Carolina. I could be off, but let's find out. Let's bring her up in the airport. My homie and yours, the incredible Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. Yolanda, girl, what is going
Oh, Shades Day.
on?
Okay, Shades Day.
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Hey, what's up? Yes, I am in St. Louis. I'm on my way to back home.
Awesome. Well, we are glad to have you. How's everything going with you? Everything good?
Yeah. Everything is Gucci.
Good, good. Now we got a lot to cover. And I'm gonna try to hit as much as I can, as quickly as I can. So I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get ready right now to jump into the show, and in doing so, we're gonna do a couple things. So first of all, hey, we're going to get ready to put everybody's names and I like to have that CNN feel. I like to be able to take us to the next level. Anyway, let's get ready to put everybody's name on the board, and everyone's name is up there. Yolanda, don't worry, I will fix yours to where we can have your information on there as well. But listen, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. And first thing I want to do and get it out of the way is talk about today's National Day. I want to talk about today's National Day, and we have three. And it's going to be interesting what today's National Day is. So let's get ready to put that on the screen, or at least have some verbiage about it on the screen. Today is National Day, and we have three. We have three. First thing, today is National Root Beer Float Day. National Root
Ooh.
Beer Float Day. I love it. I am a root beer float type of guy. And listen, it is all to the good.
Come
I
on.
love
Mugs or
me a good root
A&W?
beer float. And yeah, A&W. I do all root beers. A&W. What's some other root beers that's out there? A&W. I can't
Mugs.
think.
They still
Yeah,
make
mugs.
mugs.
Yeah, Mug make a good root beer. And I do my root beer float. I'm kind of bougie. I have to have home style ice cream from Safeway.
Yeah.
I have to have home style
Yes.
Come on.
ice cream from Safeway. There's a certain taste that goes with that home style ice cream and root beer.
Period.
It absolutely is
I promise you,
amazing.
I don't think I've had a root beer float in well over 15 years. I don't think I've had a root beer float because I don't really do dairy and I don't really drink
Oh,
soda. And so I would though. I got excited when you said it. I might just look, I might just little step outside the box today and celebrate root beer float day. Come on.
Yeah, root beer float day. Now I am like you. I don't do a lot of dairy. My system is like you must be crazy. But maybe before the end of the day or when I'm going ready to go to sleep, maybe I can have me a little
When
root
I
beer
go to
float.
sleep,
sleep. When you go to
that's the worst
bubble,
time to have it.
Why? Because it's
bubble
gonna add weight
guts.
on me.
I mean, your system, you don't sleep then because your system is busy digesting. You're supposed to not eat 2 hours before you go to bed so that your
Hmm.
sleep, your body can actually sleep. Otherwise, you're
Mm.
digesting food in your sleep and you're not actually sleeping.
The
You
word of the
Keep that in
Lord.
mind.
your brain is asleep and your eyes asleep, but your mouth might be asleep. You might be asleep, but your system is digesting, so you're not your body is not actually sleeping, and it's
That's
important.
good to know. I will keep that in mind.
Okay.
And I'm just only going to put on the screen. I ain't gonna say what Didi felt it says might happen with a root beer flow, but it's all to the good. I'm not mad at it. Anyway, shout out to Ashley Monet hanging out with us on YouTube today. What is going on, Ashley? Welcome to the show. Second thing that today is, second thing that today is National Farm Worker Appreciation Day. Farm Worker
I think that
Appreciation
deserves
Day.
a round of applause,
That
especially
deserves
here
a
in
whole
California.
lot. That
Especially here in
deserves a whole
California.
lot.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they deserve a whole lot of appreciation. I mean,
Yes.
farm. Believe it or not, where I live, I have like maybe 2 minutes away, maybe 3 minutes away from me, a lot of farmers. I have people who have cows and they farm corn and all kind of stuff. All that stuff is really like within arm's throw of me to make happen. So I'm definitely when I drive by today, I'm a doot doot. I appreciate you
Absolutely.
when I drive
Absolutely.
by because I'm definitely gonna drive by and then you try to make that happen. So I will definitely make sure I appreciate a farm worker today. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Now, last but not least, in terms of
Mm.
today's
Oh,
National Day,
hallelujah.
this one is important. Those who ride planes, those who are always in
Ushers.
close, yeah, those of you who are always in close proximity with someone. This one
This is
is
like National Listerine Day.
You're close. You're close. Today is National Fresh Breath Day.
Ah, yeah.
National Fresh Breath Day. So those of you who handle microphones, I'm praying for you. Those of you
Oh my
who are
God.
on airplanes and might be in the middle seat, Jesus the Christ. Those of
Those of
you
you
who
that are
may,
having conversations, period.
My God.
how about that?
Those
How
who
about
wake up in
that?
the morning and have a day to do anything, even if you by yourself in the house. I mean, can you have fresh breath for yourself?
Yeah.
I need you to have fresh breath for yourself. Okay. Here's what I need everybody to do. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mm.
Everybody do that. Ready? Everybody across the world. Here
I've
we go.
done that.
1, 2,
I've
3.
brushed my teeth. I do my oral care. You
Okay.
understand? It is
If y'all
necessary.
if y'all don't know that trick, y'all need to do it. And if your nostrils burn, then that means that you need to do something right there. You need to do something
Yeah.
right there. Get you a
Yeah,
list.
I'm with you.
Can
I'm
I add to this though, Dito? Because if you have chronic, like if you find yourself with chronic, I know we're making it funny, and I mean, it's funny to a certain extent, but then it is actually serious because it's not necessarily in the mouth, right? If you eat garlic or you all know what I mean. You didn't floss, okay? That is in the mouth. But if you have chronic, like what they call halitosis, that actually stems from the gut, okay? And your gut health That's going to determine your whole health. Okay. So you got to get your gut right. You got to get some probiotics in you. You got to drink you some kombucha, but address the problem. If it's in your mouth more than one day in a row, you need to go talk to your doctor and say, I'm having a problem, or people have said something. Or if I pull out a pack of gum and I'm like, you need some gum. Woo, now that's a sign that we might not be telling you that your breath needs help, but you need Jesus, and you need a visit with your doctor to talk about your gut health and your gum health. Okay, all the gut health.
I'm with you. Go ahead, Yolanda.
Yeah, can I add one thought? I actually saw this yesterday. First, let me say, I'm figuring it out every day, right? I'm going to the doctor again on Friday. I'm figuring it out every day, but I did see something that most of us may not know, where a dentist actually talked about not rinsing your mouth out with water. So when you brush your teeth, you're not. I know this sounds crazy. She said you're not supposed, when you get done brushing your teeth, you're actually not supposed to rinse because you rinse off the fluoride.
Right, and fluoride is not good for you, so we
So
shouldn't even
what I
be
mean is
exposed.
when you after you brush your teeth, whichever toothbrush you like, you're actually not supposed to rinse because you're rinsing off what you just did.
Hmm.
Interesting. That is
Yeah, but
interesting.
I've heard that before. So after you shouldn't use mouthwash. People think you should. You shouldn't use it right after you brush your teeth because you're rinsing off what you just did. Check with your local
Wow.
dentist if you're unsure. But yeah, I was going to share that.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. My I have of course a dentist, and then I've recently gone to try to keep my teeth as healthy as I can, or keep them as long as I can. Gone to a periodontist that does
Yes,
a little more deeper cleaning and does other
yes.
little stuff just to make sure that you can keep your teeth healthy. And she's told me that I use the floss pick or whatever it's called. What's the where
Yes,
you use
the flosser, the water flosser, where
yeah, the
you,
water pick.
oh yeah, the high pressure water. Those are amazing. That's a must.
Yeah.
In fact, we don't have an endorsement, but we should. But there is a big, bulk wholesaler, and the name starts with a C. If you go there, they have a special where you can get a home one for your home, but it also comes with a free travel size one, which is what
Mm,
I got, which is absolutely amazing. And
wow.
those are a must. Popcorn, you know how like y'all have popcorn and then it gets stuck in your teeth for like days.
Yeah.
That thing will get it right out, and you'll be grossed out to see the things that come out of your when you use that water pick. I don't know if it happens to you, Detail, but you're like, how is that in there? I didn't feel
Yeah.
it or anything. The little tiny particles get stuck in there, and that will take it out.
Yeah. I'm with you. And shout out to Dee Dee Felder who chimed in. I put it on the screen a second ago. I'll put it back where she said your gums are the key. She says flossing is a must. My bro, another great host in the Bay Area, Stephen Parker, is in here with us today. And he
Steven.
says, do people even tell other people that their breath stink?
Mm-mm.
That
No.
is it's hard to do. Now I will say this, I try to add a little laughter to everything that I do. And I remember one particular time I was with some friends. We were traveling from one city to another, and we were traveling by car. And we was traveling. I think we was going from Oakland to Monterey or Oakland to Seaside, somewhere around there. And we had stopped in a particular city to go to a Jack in the Box or McDonald's or something like that to get something to eat. And of course, we were, asking everybody, what do you want? What do you want? What you want? And one of the guys that was in the car, he woke up and he was like, let me get a large Coke. And we was like, woo, Jesus. Yeah, can we get a large scope? A large scope, can we
Oh,
please? We hollered. I mean,
ooh.
we hollered for a long time. I am one of those guys that I always want to make sure that my breath is appropriate. I keep Altoids in my pocket. I always have gum or something in my backpack.
All of that.
I always have something that I can have for me, as well as if I'm traveling, offer to the next person that's next to me, because they may not always have that same type of oral hygiene,
Woo.
and they want to start having conversations and stuff. No, nothing worse than being stuck on a 3-4 hour flight with somebody that want to
Mm-mm.
have conversation and they missed the toothbrush on the way to the airport. So
Mm-mm.
anyway, I'm with you. So we'll definitely make sure that we do what we can to make that happen. And those are our national days. Let's keep things going. And let's get to the next part, which is going to be our birthdays. And today we only have two. I only highlighted two. Those of you who keep up with reggae music or that might keep up with Love and Hip Hop, especially Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, today is artist Spice. Spice. Today is her birthday and she turns 42. Now, I haven't kept up with Love and Hip Hop for a minute, but I remember when she first hit the scene and she jumped on the scene. She wasn't playing. She wears a different color wigs and she does her things from in all kinds of ways. But today is her birthday. She's turning 42. And then last but not least, in terms of birthdays, those of you who keep up with basketball, they called him the Admiral. He played for San Antonio Spurs and won a couple championships. My guy, David Robinson. Today is his 59th birthday. And so we definitely want to take a moment to shout him out. NBA champion, incredible. I think he was a part of that Olympic dream team from 1992. And just an incredible basketball player. And obviously, we want to shout him out. So with that being said, Ashling, this is your time, my sister, where we throw it out to you for you to encourage those who have a birthday today.
Thank you so much, Dito. I want to add one honorable mention, and that is my daughter. We celebrated her 26th birthday just 2 days ago. And so shout out to her. 26 is such a great age where you're really establishing yourself. But any age, whatever age you turn today, we want to celebrate that from 1 to 92 and beyond. We want to just say that we hope today is just a magnificent display of God's creation, what he has created when he created you, but what he continues to create in you, right? Because we can create something from something, but God can create something from nothing. And so if you feel like you have nothing, give it to God. Open your hand and say, God, it's my birthday. I need a rebirth. I need a restart. I need to be rejuvenated. I need some things to have a Lazarus spirit. Get up. Let's go. And we want to just celebrate what God is getting ready to do for you. So from all of us here at Shop Talk, happy birthday.
You know what, Ashton? I like the way you said that. You said that and you got me so hyped because I want to let you all know that this is my birthday month. Yes, it is. This is my birthday month. And Ashton, you got me so excited. You got me so hyped up.
Brought a tear to my eye. Woo,
it's my birthday month. My birthday is the 28th of this month. I'm at the end of the month, but I am accepting all month gifts, lunches, dinners, Louis Vuitton bags, appropriate cologne. I'm accepting all of those type of things all month long. So those of you that if you're taking what Ashton said to heart, listen. Feel free to hit me up. I'm taking Cash App, Venmos, all those different things. If you got PayPal, Apple Cash, you know what I'm saying? I take it all. So if that is you, and if you have it available, you want to send it to me, go ahead, Ashton. You could interrupt me on this one.
So is that the time to ask for a Louis bag? Is on your birthday? Because I don't have a Louis bag. I know you have several. I know that you Detail have several, but I don't even own one singular Louis Vuitton thing because
really?
I don't, because I'm not, I don't, because I never did ask for one. So February is a long way. I'm gonna get my slide ready for February, and maybe in February. But you know what I would rather have other than a Louis bag? My husband. That's what I would rather have for my birthday. I would rather have my husband. Hallelujah. Because we can build a wealth empire and then we can start our own brand. And people be talking about, we need a Cole bag, or we need a whatever his last name is. We need that bag for our birthday. Amen. Okay.
Amen. I am not mad at you. Listen, we're going to get ready to keep things going. And as we get ready to keep things going, we're going to get ready to bring up our next co-host. We're going to add Yolanda back. Welcome back, Yolanda. We're going to get ready to bring up our next co-host out in the ATL of Georgia. I am ready for him. I don't know about you, but everybody should have some theme music. And you know what? I'm feeling good. Yeah. Wish me luck. If you know that theme music, You know who's getting ready to come up next. Let's get ready to go out to the ATL to bring up my guy. He is the one who calls himself Big Meat. Without further ado, y'all, let's get ready to bring up my guy, Emetrius Hunter. Emetrius in the building. Man, what is going on?
Well, good afternoon, morning. Ooh, my tongue is red from this delicious drink from Taco Bell. But good morning and hallelujah afternoon and hallelujah morning, everybody out there in Freedom Radio Land. That's right. Hello, good morning. I wish you could wish me luck. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday on today, and I am here for another great edition of Shop Talk.
Look,
Okay.
you got that Taco Bell out like it's the Last Supper. You spread that thing out
Listen,
like you was sharing with 18 people.
listen.
My God.
It's laid out. It's laid out. I got my fork right here and my
Oh,
sauces, and I
Jesus.
have my nice.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Listen, we're going to
Look,
get
Shop
ready
Talk
to
is
keep
not
things going.
sponsored by Taco Bell.
No,
We're not endorsing Taco Bell at
We are
all.
not
yeah,
endorsed.
Okay, please understand.
because you eat too much of it, you're gonna be somewhere out that you don't want to be in a few minutes.
Ooh,
Well,
Anyway,
no,
wee.
let,
this is called free lunch. Let your neighbor say free lunch. Amen.
oh, okay.
I
I'm not
don't
mad at
argue,
you.
complain.
Okay, free
I'm not
lunch.
Hallelujah.
mad at you. Well,
Yes,
listen, I
free
want to
lunch.
keep things going. Again, welcome to the show, Emetrius. Glad to have you. And again, I'm glad to
Good to
have
be
all of
here.
you who are listening to us, whether you're listening to us live on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're listening to us now from one of our partner radio stations. Again, we want to welcome you to the show, and we are glad to have you. Listen, I want to just give out a quick shout out about an upcoming event that starts tonight for me here in the Bay Area. Those of you who are in the Bay Area and you're looking for something to do, need something to do, for us at Glad Tidings, it is Convocation Week. It is Convocation Week, and we are having our convocation. Bishop Macklin, those of you who know, he is the leader of a conglomerate of churches, about 60 churches that he leads, which is how he has the title of bishop. And this week we are having our convocation at our church, and we, as you can see on the screen, we have some great speakers lined up for you coming tomorrow night from I think he's from Texas. Anyway, Mark Ellis is coming tomorrow. He is our national Sunday school superintendent. And then on Thursday, which is Women's Night, we have the incredible evangelist Ruby Holland coming. And then finally on Friday, we have from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Bishop Daryl Hines is coming, and Bishop Macklin will be preaching to us on Saturday. It's a great time out. Every night it starts tonight. Every night starts at 7 p.m. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I am responsible for all of the music, so I'm going to be working hard this week, but I'm looking forward to making that happen. So again, if you're in the Bay Area, it is convocation for us, and you can meet us at Glad Tidings, which is 970 Glad Tidings Way. I don't know if y'all knew that we have the street has been renamed the Glad Tidings Way. So 970 Glad Tidings Way in Hayward, California, United States of America. You can meet us there tonight, and we would love to have you. All right, y'all, let's keep things going. Now, I don't know, have any of you all guys been keeping up with the Olympics? It's the last week. Anybody been keeping up with the Olympics?
Yes.
Just gymnastics is the only thing I really got into. Sorry,
Oh,
Track.
I
yeah.
missed the women's track and field and the men's.
Yeah, I seen some of it. Shout out to my son, Demetrius Tole Jr., DJ in the building. What's going on, son? Looking forward to seeing him tonight, playing with me this week. Yeah, the Olympics have been pretty good. I've been keeping up with volleyball. You know, I keep up with all the stuff that got girls in. I'm just funny. Y'all pray for me. But I've been keeping up with gymnastics. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't want to look at a bunch of boys. I've been keeping up with gymnastics. I've been looking at
But you
volleyball.
watch football, you watch basketball, you watch sports like that.
I
Just
do.
erase that comment.
I do.
I'm
I
so
watch. I watch.
confused.
He said, "I was looking
Be,
up, boy." It's okay, boy.
but be confused not. I've been looking at gymnastics. I've been looking at volleyball, both indoor and
You didn't watch the
beach
basketball
volleyball.
game?
I've seen one. I've been keeping up with track and field. You know what I'm saying? Those are things I've been keeping up. I mean, you know, I see basketball all
Oh
year
my
long.
god!
I see golf and football all year long. I want to see stuff I don't normally see. So I don't normally see gymnastics. I don't see volleyball that often, and I don't hardly see track and field. So that's what I've been looking at. So uh, judge not, lest ye be judged. Anyway, go ahead, Ja'Cory.
I just want to know because I did watch a little bit of it. Why does it look like I'm watching old TV when I'm watching the Olympics? It just looks so like I'm watching Good Times from back in the day. Can we get
Oh
somebody
wow.
to liven up the color? It just
Oh, like
I
you talking
can't get
about
with
grainy,
it.
like the quality of
It
the
yeah, it just looks
oh,
so ancient.
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I've had time watching it. It's been on two channels. It's been on NBC and it's been on USA. And so I've been watching both of those, and I've seen people get gold medals and all kind of stuff. FYI, y'all mentioned basketball. USA does play today, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. You can be able to catch that. I think they're in the I think they're still in the running for a potential gold medal. We will see what happens. I think they're at the point now where you win or go home, or win or you're kicked out. So we will see. We'll keep up with that and let you all know as soon as we know. But that's what I've been watching. I've only been watching the stuff with girls, and y'all pray for me. I'm a boy all day. Anyway, anybody?
I just wanted to say that if you have missed the Olympics, that you can go to NBCOlympics.com and catch the replays. So don't think that just because you haven't seen the live Olympics that means that you've missed it. Again, you can go to NBCOlympics.com and watch the replays through their replay hub.
Okay, that's good to know. I did not know that. Yeah, so that's good information. Thank you for
And,
sharing that.
When y'all
or if you
watch it,
have
do y'all
Peacock,
yell
you
at the
can watch
TV
it on
though?
Peacock.
No, I don't yell at the TV.
No,
No. Well,
yeah.
I was
well,
like,
yeah,
run, run.
yeah. I was yelling. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
was yelling. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
like,
okay, I'm sorry.
how did you miss that? How did you miss that? Come
I'm
on.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
run. You're not paying attention. Run.
yeah, yeah. I will admit I've been yelling, but it's been all good. I'm very competitive, and I was talking to one of my daughters last night. When I say what I said or what happened, you'll probably know which daughter it was. But we was talking, about with track and field, how when they at the end of the race, all the participants, congratulate each other, hug each other, whatever they do. One of my kids was like, if I lost, I'm just walking off. I'm not hugging nobody. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not smiling. I'm like, girl, that's not how that goes. You
No.
got to be she said, I'm a bad competitor. If I don't win, I don't have nothing to say.
Mm.
So y'all pray for me. Y'all pray that the Lord provides a way of escape over here. Anyway, listen, we're going to keep things going. I just wanted to make a mention of the Olympics, especially since it is the last week. I think it ends on this coming Saturday. We will keep you abreast of everything that we know as we hear about it. All right, y'all, let's get ready to jump to our next conversation. And our next conversation is election 2024. Election 2024.
Jesus.
So I know we don't
My God.
talk about this all the time or as much as we probably could, but election 2024, we talked about it a little bit last week. I think we may have touched on it the week before, but I want to mention today that Kamala Harris, our Democratic nominee, has finally picked her running mate. Did you guys see that yet?
Yes,
She
yes,
finally
yes.
picked her running mate. I
Minnesota.
think it was last night or this morning or whatever it was. She picked the governor of Minnesota. His name, I believe, was Tim Walz, Walz. Tim Walz is his name. He is the uh, governor of Minnesota. I didn't know that they had a Democratic governor in Minnesota. I need to start paying a little more attention to that myself. But shout out to Kamala for making that particular pick. From what I've been seeing from comments, people are actually satisfied with her picking of this gentleman. And so I believe the Democratic convention is a little later this month, of which she will. We pray that she'll officially get the Democratic nomination, and then be able to, of course, announce her running mate. And then from here on out, it will be on. It's blue against red up until November the 5th. And again, we talked about it last week. We talked about it the week before. If you haven't registered to vote, please, ma'am, please, sir, first of all, register to vote. It is important. It is important. Shout out to my other namesake, Demetrius Edwards, who is also in here. So wait, so let me see.
Hey, Meech.
If Demetrius, if you're a big Meech, what is Meech Edwards? What is he? Just another Meech?
Bigger
Just
Meech.
another
I think that
Meech.
would be.
Okay, just
Just
another Meech. Okay.
Just
another
another
Meech.
Meech.
Okay.
Ah,
It means
I'm
that's
not.
just another
that's
Meech.
so funny.
Like,
Jesus.
I'm not
He
even going
told
there.
Nito,
Anyway,
if I can just say one thing about this,
absolutely.
there has been, I think that we were, and I don't want to say we because we don't, but anyway, I'll say me. I was discouraged. I was really discouraged. I was discouraged. It seemed like we were at a standstill. It didn't seem like we had any opposition for Donald Trump. And I think that this switching, it looked like, is Biden really, is this a good move? Like, I didn't understand. And I'm not really into politics. Like, I'm in it, but not of it, if that makes sense, right? So
Hmm.
I follow it and I watch it, and I know it does affect us because we've talked about this for months. What happens on the local level happens, affects the county level, the state level, then the government level, and then of course the presidency. But since Kamala has announced her running, or her bid for the White House, the presidency, there has been a 700% increase in voter registration between the ages of 20 and 30. 700% increase. And so
Wow.
that is outstanding. And that brings me back to when Barack Obama was running for office, and we had a surge of young people that registered to vote. And so I hope that, whatever the result, I am leaning towards one result. But I hope that this really shows the people that we do have a voice. We do have a say. You can, we are stronger in numbers, right? We better together, right? So register to vote if you have not. If you have somebody in your house that's not registered, encourage them to do it. It's super simple. I think you're even early enough that you can get a absentee vote, which means that you get your ballot in the mail and that you can actually mail it in. But you got to do that soon because there is a cutoff date for that. So you can go online, register to vote, and fill out the paperwork. It's super simple, and get it done. And let's vote. Let's vote.
Absolutely. I love it. And now, Yolanda, I see that you're on the bridgeway. You're walking to the plane. Anything you want to mention this about this whole Democratic thing before you take off in the air?
Vote. No. Vote. Voting. Oh, my pastor. Shout out to my pastor. Oh, that's so good having church on. Okay. So my pastor, Bishop Brian Moore, said something really good. Voting is, oh, you don't hear me?
No.
Hold on.
There you go. Now I see you.
Okay.
And
Let me
there.
Uh-oh.
see me.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So he said something really good. Not voting is voting.
Come on. That's
Mm,
good. That's good. That's
So
true.
when you don't vote, you do make a decision.
yeah.
Vote. It's
Yeah.
not our right to tell you
Absolutely.
who to vote for, but get up and, like
Absolutely.
you
I
said,
love it. I,
get
I
your
think
tail
that's
up
great.
and go
That's
vote.
a that is a good thing to say. Voting is still not vote. I mean, not voting is still voting. That's cute. I like that.
That's right.
Tell your pastor I said thank you for that information. Listen, I know you get ready to take off. We're glad that you
I know.
joined us.
Safe travels,
We will
Yolanda.
talk to you
You
real
don't gotta
soon.
kick me out. I'm here till the lady tell me to turn my phone off. I'm good.
Okay, well I didn't want to be riding. She
Hilarious.
told me.
I'm
Okay, she
fine.
told me.
Beep.
All right, it's all good. Well, let's keep things going. So, Emetrius and Jacory, I mean, here we are. We're just a few months away from electing a brand new president. Jacory, I'll start with you, man. What's your thought on this whole thing?
What's funny is I was just talking with somebody because they had the rally with Megan the Stallion. I don't really know who she is, but I know a lot of older people didn't understand the reason for it. It's bridging the gap to get the young people to vote because a lot of the young people don't know the history of why we're pushing and pressing for you to vote, what the black people
Absolutely.
had to go through and how they were hosed down. So I think it's just a good season to relive history because we're getting to a place to where standards, wisdom, and knowledge is being swept off of the earth. I say
Hmm.
that even with the deaths that are taking
Woo.
place, it's
Come on.
sweeping away the standards to where nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all that's going on, we have to speak of past history so that we keep it alive. Because I mean, I'm just like, I don't know, it's just a hard time to live. You wake up in the morning, and I'm one that likes to watch the news, but if you watch the news will have you to where you don't want to wake up the next morning. So
Yeah. 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 I'm with you, man. It's a lot going on. It's a lot from both spectrums. There's a lot of people pulling this way, pulling that way. And I like the way that Kamala is running her campaign to where she's not focusing on trying to degrade her opponent. That
period.
I love that because there's so much other stuff that we can focus on other than trying to, throw jabs up at my opponent. Let me tell you let me tell you what I'm really about. Let me tell you what I'm trying to accomplish. Not trying to just downgrade this person. I'm really trying to
Good.
win this election with my integrity and make things happen that way. So
That's good. Because you know what? The Trump supporters, they're not trying to hear it anyway. They're not going to hear
yeah,
no kind of negative. It's like, I don't know if you ever watched The Incredibles. I think it was the second one, and the little brainwash thing that they had, the
yeah,
little thing. That's how it seems like the people are. It's like they're not trying to hear anything factual about their guy that's actually harming citizens of the United States. They're not trying to hear any of that. So she
yeah,
would be really wasting her time, because if we're in support of her, we're in support of her. We don't care nothing about. We already know everything that he's done. We've seen it because he's done it in the public eye. So I think that would be a waste of time. So that's a really good move for sure on her
yeah.
part.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I love it. Emetrius, man, I want to throw it out to you to kind of close us out on this, man. What's your thought on this?
So when it comes to the election, this is probably one of the first elections since the Obama campaign that I've really paid attention to. I didn't really pay attention to Kamala and Biden. I just went out and voted because I wanted Kamala and Biden. Um, Honestly, just keeping it 100. I could even tell you half the stuff Biden and Kamala promised us. However, within this election, with Biden stepping down, it caused me to tune in and tap in more. Even being invited into different rooms and conferences of different groups of people that are empowering and endorsing Kamala Harris, talking about the campaign, and it's not just voting for Kamala because it's Kamala, but it's voting because of this is the person. This is your vote matters be based off of who the other contender is. We have to look at the fact that for the first time in American history, we have a convicted felon on a presidential ticket. We have to look at the fact that in the first time in history, we have a man that was able to degrade women publicly and on a ticket. I mean, we have someone who wasn't even attached to politics to come and sit in the
Come on.
presidential seat. He was a mogul and a businessman, never in the politician realm, just sat with them in little, what they call those little golf courses and clubhouses and things of that nature, and,
Come on.
gyms and stuff. So we're not actually putting somebody who has political knowledge, who cares for people. He's a mogul, a businessman. He cares for no one but himself. So when it comes to this country, he is the voice and the person to do the dirty work on the Republican hand. They put him in place to sit there and go through and do the things that the Republican want to do that can eliminate that whole Republican standard. So we'll go ahead and put him in there because he has no political background, no political ties. So if he goes in here and does it, then guess what? Senator so and so is not going to be held accountable. He'll still get his seat next term. This senator over here won't be held accountable. They'll still get their seat next term. So one thing you have to watch with these Republican parties is they will put people in place to be the mogul of their party, to do the dirty work that will not be charged with anything. Again, the first time in history, this man was elected into a presidential seat and sat through his whole campaign degrading women and still won, allegedly,
Yeah.
because he came back around the next year and they've been found guilty for rigging votes. So it makes you think what happened during Hillary's campaign, because let's keep in mind he didn't win by a long slide. So
Hmm.
a lot of things come into play with this season, with this time, and it's voting. It's not just voting for Kamala, it's voting against Project 25. It's voting against a dictatorship that he's trying to set up. This man, listen to when he talks. He told us, one, he's not a Christian. Two, Black people, guess what? You'll never have to vote again if you vote this time, because guess what? That will then be considered a dictatorship. In Russia, they have a dictatorship. Putin will always be president until he dies out. So therefore, what he's trying to do is set this country up into a place to where we become a dictatorship, and he will run it and rule it until he dies out, which will then be handed over to the next person, and then we'll have an election, and that person will sit in the seat until it dies out. So he's trying to reverse the rules of times that have changed. And for us Black Americans, it is so important for us to vote. And the reason why I say that, why it's so important for us to vote, because I remember my great-great-grandfather. I was 10 years old. He was 102. Told us the stories of different civil rights and different stuff like that. I mean, thank God I came up in an era where they still told of true Black history, and how my ancestors, my aunts, my uncles, my grandmothers, great-grandmothers, great-grandfathers, great-aunts, great-uncles had to actually sneak to go vote. They weren't able to walk up to the polls like we're walking up to the polls right now. So it's not only important for us to vote, but we've gone through a legacy of fighting, blood, sweat, and tears so that we can vote. Women, you have gone through a legacy of blood, sweat, and tears so you can vote, because there was a time when women could not vote. Only the men voted. So learn your history and know that the rights that you have today are not just a honor or a privilege, but not just a privilege, but this is an honor. People have fought for this. People have died for this. Your ancestors, your bloodstains have fought and died for this. So take up that advantage and go out to your poll and vote. Vote, vote, vote. And that's all I have to say.
That's good.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. Good stuff. So, listen, we're going to keep talking about this week by week. We'll attack it from different comments and different vantage points each week. But we'll definitely talk about it again next week. Listen, let's keep things going. We only got a few minutes left, but I definitely want to take a moment and talk about Stellar's 2024 that happened. The viewing of it happened on this particular Sunday, this past Sunday, and I wasn't there in the room when it was recorded. I did watch the show. The editing of it, for me, I could tell from the editing that a lot of things were edited at the wrong place. You have to be an incredible producer to be able to edit stuff in the right place for things to make, the right sense. Again, I was not in the room when it was recorded, but as I saw the edited version,
yeah, it makes sense.
Some of the edits did not make sense to me. So, Ashling, you were there. Jacory, you were there. I think Yolanda was there. She just took off on her plane. But I mean, tell me what you guys think, man. I wasn't there. Kind of bring us up to speed on what you saw.
Did you get to see it yet, Ash?
No.
Me and Ash had some of the best seats in the house. Let me tell you, she was swinging her hair. My mama actually said she saw you on the actual show. But I was so disappointed because the performances were so good, and the prayer that started out the whole Stellars was so good. The clips in my phone are better than what you saw on TV.
Wow.
They cut out Kiara's speech that took everybody. Kiara's speech is what really took Tamala in.
No, they didn't.
They cut out the real.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I was not impressed.
Well, I mean, I do know.
Interesting.
I do know this. I do know this.
Wow.
There are certain things when you're dealing with a network like BET. There are certain parameters that they have to stay within. I understand that part of it. Certain time frames. They have to get things cut down to a certain amount of time for commercials to be implemented and these type of different things. Again, I was not in the room, but I could just tell from the edits that we missed some key points in certain different places, that for it to be a Christian, church awards type thing, gospel music awards thing, I'm not trying to compete with the Grammys. I'm not trying to compete with, other award shows. If we are a gospel award show, we should be showing as much of the gospel and what got us to where we are as possible.
They cut that part
And
out.
not to not to appease the viewers, the non-Christian viewers. This was our 90 minutes. This was our 2 hours, whatever it was. They cut it down to. This was our time to show as much of what we do as potentially possible. Let me ask y'all there. I mean, y'all was there. What did you guys think about the whole Dietrich Haddon performance?
The whole thing. Okay, if I'm being real honest, the entire show was amazing. The entire show. I'm talking about the stage, the lighting, the set design, the band. I mean, I have not been able to watch. I haven't had a chance to watch the actual broadcast yet. But the entire thing was like, I'm talking about top notch. I'm talking about you don't need to compete with the Grammys or the other awards, because what you have is amazing. It's amazing. And it's gospel's night for the year. That is celebrating gospel music. That is the biggest thing of the year for gospel music. And so, one, definitely get your tickets for next year. I'm going to say that. Definitely get your tickets because you want to be in the room. It's just a different experience. But the entire thing was amazing. Dietrich Haddon's performance was outstanding. There was no performance that wasn't outstanding. I have to give an honorable mention to my friend, Wendy Wyatt, who was featured as on the new artist stage, and which Lena Bird Miles, shout out to her. She was featured last year and she was nominated for a Stellar. This year was absolutely amazing. But Wendy Wyatt brought us to our knees, really, like with her little bitty snippet of a song that they had her do. It was absolutely outstanding. She looked good. Shout out to my sisters, her manager, and who did her hair. It was just absolutely amazing. So all the performances, Tamala Mann, absolutely, she brought the house down, and it didn't end at the end of her song. We were in worship and praise, shouting. The whole place was shouting after her performance for a whole nother, Jacory, 10 minutes at least.
Yeah, it was crazy.
She tried to go off, and we were still
and came
shouting.
back.
And she came back. But you're not gonna see that in the edit. Kiera Sheard had an amazing gratitude speech, and she talked about God being a healer, and she went in. It was absolutely we erupted in praise and gratitude for everything that God has done. And so I'm disappointed to hear that it didn't come through in the broadcast. And here's the thing: this actually happens in gospel music, and I'm not sure. You will go to a live recording and you will have an amazing experience at a live recording, and then the CD comes out and the CD is like flat. And it's like, where did it so you got to spend money on the back end on the editing process. You have to.
And then Ashling,
you got to do that.
One thing that I did not like was the presence of the background vocals. It was just like, okay, I can tell you're having a good time, but where are they? You cannot hear them. They were
in the house. We heard them.
They were in the house, but you couldn't hear them on the television.
So
and this is one.
Get your ticket for next year. That's it. Get your ticket for next
year. But then you have to also challenge the gospel community and the churches, because the thing is, if we want to be great, we have to support. And I think in our little established churches, if we come together, we can be greater than the Grammys. But the thing is, it's in the coming together.
I'm with it. I love it.
Because why the Stellar TV ABC and Fox should be asking us, why can't we have the Stellar Awards on our TV channel?
Come on.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I forgot what channel the Stellar Awards used to air on.
Used to come on like not the Word Network, but something like that.
Yeah.
WeTV. I forgot the network it was. It was a different network
every year, and it used to be really good. They didn't add out a lot of church. Now you wouldn't get the whole rendition of them going in, but you definitely would get more of what we're getting now, though.
Absolutely.
And Ricky Dillard killed it. I'm sorry, he
did. But the funny thing about his performance.
A little bit more time.
the audio for his compared to the other stuff was different. You could tell the difference. Anyway, you can get a chance to watch it again. It's on BET. I'm sure you can see it on Stellar TV as well. As we do our closing comment, final thought, just real quick, just want to remind you to vote for our home network, Freedom Radio. We are up for a Spin Award. All you have to do is go to thespinawards.com/vote, and you can be able to cast your vote for Freedom Radio for Internet Radio Station of the Year. All right, y'all. With that being said, our time is gone. We're not out of conversation, just out of time. But on behalf of all of us here at Shop Talk, myself, Ashling, Emetrius, Jacory, and Yolanda, we want to say thank you for tuning in. We will do this again next week. Same Shop Talk time, same Shop Talk network. Until then, you can help me say it out. Holla.